Welcome back to Motivational Journey. Listen, there comes a moment in life when you must stop begging for respect from the world and start earning it from within. Respect doesn't start when others see your value. Respect starts when you finally see your own. Full score. Until you respect yourself, nobody else will. And that begins with the most important foundation of all. Self-respect starts inside you. Before the world claps for you, before anyone believes in your abilities, before you earn recognition, you must build a relationship with yourself that is rooted in belief, honor, and dignity. Too many people walk through life waiting for others to validate them. They wait for someone to say, "You're good enough, you're talented, you matter," but here's the truth. You cannot depend on the world to give you what you refuse to give yourself. Self-respect is not something someone hands you. It's something you determine through your attitude, your standards, and how you treat yourself. Self-respect means recognizing your worth even when others overlook it. It means waking up every day knowing you are capable, deserving, and valuable, not because someone told you, but because you decided it is true. It is the courage to say, "I am enough," even when doubt tries to whisper otherwise. When you respect yourself internally, your actions follow. You stop begging for attention, you stop needing approval. You stop shrinking yourself to fit in rooms where you don't belong. You walk with a quiet confidence, not arrogance, but a deep awareness that you deserve good things, you deserve opportunities, and you deserve respect. It's not about being perfect, it's about being aware of your strengths, your potential, and your values. Self-respect also means you know what you tolerate and what you don't. You don't allow people to treat you disrespectfully, because you don't treat yourself that way. When you truly respect yourself, you don't gossip about others, you don't engage in negativity, and you don't do things that lower your character. Your standards rise, for yourself and the world around you. People can feel when someone respects themselves. They notice the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, the boundaries you hold, and the decisions you make. And once they recognize your self-respect, they either match that energy or they remove themselves, and both outcomes are blessings. Self-respect is also built through the choices you make daily, the decision to take care of your health, the discipline to follow your goals, the courage to speak your truth, and the strength to walk away from situations that don't align with your values. When you keep promises to yourself, whether it's waking up early to work on your dreams or simply choosing peace over drama, you reinforce your belief in yourself. Every small act of discipline is a vote for self-respect. Every time you push through challenges instead of giving up, you remind yourself that you are capable. Every time you stand firm on your boundaries, you prove that you value your peace and your future. And here is something powerful. When you respect yourself, the world senses it. You don't need to demand respect, because your presence already commands it. Your tone changes, your decisions sharpen, your mindset strengthens, and your actions reflect greatness. The world mirrors what you show. If you see yourself as worthy, life opens doors. If you see yourself as capable, opportunities appear. When you value yourself, work becomes purposeful, relationships become healthier, and your future becomes brighter. Respect is energy, and energy is contagious. So start within. Speak to yourself with kindness, push yourself with discipline, protect your peace with intention, and honor your dreams with commitment. Decide right now that you deserve to be respected, by yourself first, and by others later. Because once you build unshakable respect for yourself, the world cannot help but see your worth. When you believe in you, others will too. Discipline builds confidence, not in a loud, flashy, or instant way, but slowly, quietly, and powerfully. Confidence is not something you magically wake up with. It's earned through consistent effort, through doing the work even when you don't feel like it, through honoring your commitments to yourself when nobody is watching. Many people think confidence comes from compliments, applause, or other people saying, "You can do it." But real confidence comes from the moments you push through struggle, from the days you show up tired but still get things done, from the nights you sacrifice comfort to build the life you want. The world sees the results, but you feel the journey, and that journey is what shapes your inner strength. When you keep the promises you make to yourself, waking up on time, working on your goals daily, staying disciplined with your habits, you build trust in yourself. Think about it. Confidence is basically self-trust. If you constantly break promises to yourself, your mind stops believing in you. You become your own biggest doubter. But when you repeatedly prove to yourself that you do what you say you'll do, something powerful happens. Your inner voice shifts from, "I hope I can," to, "I will." Self-doubt weakens, belief strengthens, and confidence becomes a natural result. Discipline is not punishment. It's evidence to yourself that you are capable, reliable, and strong. Every disciplined decision, no matter how small, adds a brick to your inner foundation. Waking up early when your mind says, sleep more. Going to the gym when excuses tell you to rest. Choosing to study, train, or build your skills when others waste time. These actions may seem small in the moment, but over time they transform you. They change the way you see yourself. They turn uncertainty into certainty, hesitation into action, weakness into resilience. Confidence doesn't grow from comfort, it grows from consistency and challenge. And discipline also builds mental toughness. Life will test you. There will be days when motivation disappears, when results aren't visible, when doubt whispers and fear grows. On those days, discipline becomes your backbone. Motivation may inspire you, but discipline sustains you. Motivation is emotional, discipline is commitment. Motivation can disappear, discipline stays. So when you consistently show up, even on the days you feel weak, you teach your mind that your goals are more important than your moods. That's how champions are made. Not by doing what they want all the time, but by doing what they need to do even when they don't want to. Discipline also helps you build self-respect. When you treat your goals seriously, when you invest effort into your growth, when you stay consistent, you naturally feel proud of who you are becoming. That pride is confidence. It's a quiet glow, not arrogance. It comes from knowing you earned your progress. Nobody can take that from you, because nobody gave it to you, you built it. And when you look in the mirror and see someone who does the work, you don't need external validation. You become your own inspiration. Even your failures start to build confidence. Why? Because discipline teaches you resilience. When you fail but keep going, when you fall but stand again, you prove to yourself that setbacks cannot break you. Most people quit not because they can't succeed, but because they lack discipline to continue when things get hard. But once you train your mind to push through difficulty, confidence becomes part of your identity. You stop asking, "Can I?" and start saying, "Watch me." So if you want confidence, don't chase shortcuts. Don't wait for motivation. Don't depend on praise. Instead, build habits, build discipline, build a routine that supports your dreams. Show up daily, commit fully, be patient, and trust the process. Every disciplined decision is a seed planted. With time, those seeds turn into strength, clarity, belief, and unshakable confidence. Because confidence is not gifted, it is earned. And the person who earns it through discipline becomes unstoppable, not just in success, but in character, mindset, and life. Don't chase approval, because the moment you start living for the opinions of others, you stop living for yourself. So many people spend their entire lives trying to be liked, trying to fit in, trying to be validated by those who don't even know their struggles, their potential, or their purpose. They wait for permission to feel worthy, they wait for someone to notice them, to clap for them, to say, "You're good enough." But here's the truth: the world does not shape your value, you do. And when you chase approval, you hand over your power, you hand over your peace, and you hand over your self-respect. Seeking approval traps you in a cycle where you never feel enough. If someone compliments you, you feel good temporarily, but if they ignore you, criticize you, or don't support you, suddenly you doubt yourself. That is a fragile way to live. Happiness becomes dependent on others, decisions become controlled by fear of judgment, and confidence becomes borrowed instead of earned. When you chase approval, you become a prisoner to opinions. You lose authenticity. You smile when you're hurting, pretend when you're lost, stay quiet when you need to speak, all just to be accepted. But acceptance built on pretending is not acceptance, it is self-abandonment. True strength is choosing growth over approval. It is choosing to build yourself quietly instead of performing loudly. It is choosing to focus on your purpose instead of people's opinions. Real achievers don't wake up thinking, "How can I make everyone like me today?" They wake up thinking, "How can I become better today?" They don't chase applause, they chase progress. They don't lower themselves to fit in, they rise so high the world notices naturally. When you invest energy into becoming the best version of yourself, validation becomes a side effect, not the target. And understand this. People will always have opinions, whether you succeed or fail. They will talk when you're broke and talk when you're rich. They will judge when you dream small and judge when you dream big. So why live for voices that will never be satisfied? Better to live for your vision, your values, your journey. The most successful people in the world were once misunderstood, criticized, doubted, and laughed at, but they kept going because they didn't need everyone to approve. They believed in the silent approval of discipline, effort, and faith. When you stop chasing approval, something powerful happens. You gain clarity. You stop pursuing things just to impress. You stop saying yes to things that drain you. You stop forcing your presence where you don't belong. Instead, you move with intention. You align with people who respect you, not just notice you. You build real relationships, not based on attention, but on purpose and authenticity. You start listening to your heart more than the crowd. You begin to act based on values, not validation. Not chasing approval does not mean you become rude or isolated. It means you value truth more than popularity. You learn to support others without needing them to applaud you in return. You learn to clap for yourself quietly when nobody else sees your effort. You learn to stand alone when you need to, because you trust your direction. That is confidence. That is maturity. That is inner power. And ironically, when you stop chasing validation, that's when people start respecting you more. They feel your confidence. They feel your self-alignment. They see a person who is not desperate for attention, who knows their worth without broadcasting it, who stands grounded regardless of judgment. People admire those who don't need to impress. So focus on becoming, not proving. Work in silence, elevate quietly, and let results speak without needing applause. Let your consistency be your voice. Let your discipline be your evidence. Let your growth be your response to doubt. Because approval fades, applause stops, opinions change, but self-belief endures. When you choose purpose over validation, you rise. And when you stop chasing others' acceptance, you finally accept yourself, and that is where real confidence and peace begin. You set your value, and the world responds to the value you give yourself. Every day, through your actions, your boundaries, your habits, and the standards you choose, you are teaching people how to treat you. If you walk through life believing you are less, people will treat you like you are less. If you settle for disrespect, you will receive disrespect. If you tolerate mediocrity in yourself, the world will mirror that back to you. But when you decide to raise your standards, not with arrogance, but with inner certainty, everything around you starts to shift. You do not get what you wish for. You get what you believe you deserve and what you are willing to demand from life through your effort and self-respect. Setting your value starts internally. It's the way you talk to yourself, the thoughts you allow, the level of belief you hold in your dreams, the faith you have in your abilities. You cannot tell the world you are valuable while treating yourself like an afterthought. You cannot expect loyalty from others when you betray yourself daily. You cannot expect opportunities when you don't prepare, when you don't show up, when you don't invest in your growth. The universe responds to energy, and the strongest message you can send is the way you treat yourself. If you treat yourself like someone important, someone worthy of discipline, care, and excellence, life will begin to open doors you once thought were closed. Value is also shown through boundaries. When you refuse to allow disrespect, when you walk away from people who drain you, when you choose peace over chaos, you send a clear message: I value myself. Many people stay in situations, friendships, relationships, jobs, not because they belong there, but because they fear leaving more than they fear being undervalued. But staying where you are not respected only teaches the world that you are willing to accept less. Growth requires courage. It requires walking away from comfort. It requires saying, I deserve better, even before better arrives. You don't get upgraded by staying in places meant for your old identity. Your habits also reflect your value. A person who values themselves cares about their body, mind, time, and future. They don't waste hours on distractions while their dreams wait untouched. They don't numb themselves with temporary pleasure at the cost of long-term success. They invest in knowledge, discipline, health, and skills because they know their future deserves it. Self-value is seen in the quiet moments, choosing to study instead of scroll, choosing to rest instead of party, choosing to focus instead of fitting in. When you act like your life matters, your life begins to matter more. Value is not loud. It does not need to shout, brag, or prove itself to others. True value speaks through presence, confidence, and behavior. When you value yourself, you don't beg, you build. You don't compete, you grow. You don't chase people, you attract the right ones. You don't try to convince others, you show them through your actions. Silence becomes powerful, your patience becomes strength, your standards become your filter. You stop fighting for space in rooms that don't respect you and start creating your own tables. And here's the truth. Not everyone will understand your worth when you start elevating. Some will try to pull you back. Some will say you've changed. Some will call you selfish. But protecting your value is not selfish, it is necessary. You cannot pour into others from an empty cup. You cannot shine while shrinking yourself for others' comfort. You must prioritize your growth, your peace, and your future, even if others don't see the vision yet. When you raise your standards, life tests you before it rewards you. You will be challenged. You will feel lonely at times. But loneliness at a higher level is better than company at a lower one. Hold your value through the hard moments. Respect yourself through the silent seasons. Believe in your worth when results are not visible yet. Because when you set your value and stand by it, the world eventually falls in line. What you tolerate becomes what you receive. What you demand through discipline becomes your reality. And the day you truly recognize your worth is the day your life rises to meet it. Walk with purpose and confidence, because the energy you carry into the world shapes the way the world responds to you. Confidence is not loudness, it's not boasting, and it's not arrogance. True confidence is quiet strength. It's the calm certainty in your steps, the conviction in your voice, and the dignity in how you carry yourself. When you move like someone who believes in their direction, your presence speaks before your words do. People feel it, opportunities feel it, life opens for those who walk like they belong on the path they're traveling. Not because they are better than others, but because they refuse to shrink themselves, doubt themselves, or apologize for pursuing greatness. Walking with purpose means you are not wandering through life hoping something changes, you are moving toward a destination with intention, discipline, and vision. Even if the road is unclear, even if the results haven't come yet, you hold your head high and keep stepping forward. Purpose gives your walk meaning. Confidence gives it power. Together, they make you unstoppable. People notice the way you treat your journey, and when you move like your life has meaning, others begin to see that meaning too. Confidence is also how you speak to yourself internally. When you feed your mind doubt, you walk small. When you feed your mind belief, you walk bold. The voice inside you is either your anchor or your wings, choose wisely. Speak to yourself as someone capable, destined, and prepared. Life has enough critics. You cannot afford to be one of them. Move with the mindset that you were built for challenges, designed for growth, and worthy of achieving the life you imagine. Confidence begins inside. Then it shows up in your posture, your tone, your decisions, your hustle. And understand this. Walking with confidence doesn't mean you never feel doubt or fear. Everybody feels fear. The difference is that confident people move anyway. They shake, they sweat, they question themselves sometimes, but they keep going. Confidence is not the absence of insecurity, it's the decision to rise above it. Every time you choose courage over hesitation, you strengthen your spirit. Every time you push through discomfort, you expand your limits. Confidence grows through action, not waiting. You don't become confident and then take action. You take action, and that builds confidence. Purpose also protects you from distractions. When you know where you're going, it becomes easy to ignore those who laugh, criticize, or underestimate you. Noise doesn't shake a person with direction. Opinions don't move someone grounded in self-belief. You don't need to announce your goals or defend your dreams. Your results will speak louder than words ever could. Quiet focus is powerful. When you work with seriousness, life treats you seriously.